Okay, then I will open this special board meeting and possible executive session. This is Tuesday, August the 13th, 2024. It's 3:30 p.m. Board of Supervisors Executive Conference Room, Melody Lane. Pursuant to ARS 38-431.02H, the public will have physical access to the meeting place 15 minutes prior to the start of the meeting. Any item on this agenda is open for discussion and possible action. Begin with the roll call. District 1, Supervisor Crosby is not available. District 2, Supervisor English is present. District 3.
Supervisor Judd is here.
So we have 2 board members and we have the ability to make decisions. Members of the public may also attend this meeting by Microsoft Teams, computer, or mobile app, or by phone by calling 602-609-7513 or 888-680-6714, conference ID 707-047-945#. If you have trouble accessing this meeting remotely, call 520-432-9200 for direction. Pursuant to ARS 38-431.03B, minutes and discussions in executive session shall be kept confidential. And the action item today is for the annual performance review of our county administrator, Richard G. Karwachka. And as always, when we ask to have a performance review, it is up to the individual and it's up to Mr. Karwachka whether we do this in open session or we do this in executive session. So my first question is, how do you want us to handle this, Mr. Karwachka?
I'd like to proceed in executive session.
Then I'm going to need a motion for that to take place.
Madam Chair, I move that we proceed into executive session as authorized under ARS 38-431.03 subsection A, paragraph 1.
Okay, and I would second that motion. Is there any discussion before I call for the vote? Hearing none, then I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and there's no other board member present, so it's 2-0, and we are now moving into executive session. So do I need to have a time lapse so that we can change from the public to the private?
Yes, Madam Chair, we'll need that in a minute. And this is Christine Roberts. I'm just going to give the admonition that, again, that anything said, discussed, handed out, any minutes or so forth in executive session remain in executive session. It's confidential and not to be disclosed. And at this time, I'm going to remove myself from the executive session so you can have this discussion with Mr. Karwachka. I will be outside the room.
And
So I probably also need to mention that I am alone, so there's no one else in the room with me. Since I'm virtual, that needs to be part of the record, I think.
Very good. Thank you.
okay, we have now rejoined the public forum. So
Well, I want to say, coming out of the executive session and discussing the performance of Richard Karwachka is fun for us because we have had such a good ride with Mr. Karwachka. We wish him well in his new venture, but he still has time to help us, in this transition. And so we thank him, even though we're not adding any new benefits, we're not adding any new salary, but we're simply making things simple so that people understand what's going on and how much we appreciate the fact that he's worked with us for the time that he has. And so having said that, I think that Ms. Judd has some processes that we want to ask him to do for us before the next few weeks.
Okay.
Could you go ahead with that, Ms.
Yeah,
Judd?
but I'd also like to say something. I feel like his leadership was so solid. We could all depend on him. And we knew that our directors could depend on him. And we knew that, I think everyone felt comfortable going to you, Rich. And I think that was a big hallmark of your service to the county. So thank you. Also, you just did an excellent job of being a county administrator and you didn't even know how. You just did it. I'm really, really proud of you and excited to have you here within the county with us for another couple months. Thank you. And then as a judge, but I don't plan on seeing you in your new setting. So, might be accidental seeing, but not in your new setting. So we've got a few agenda items that we'd like to propose here. And so we can move forward with the transition that Mr. Karwatch is going to help us with. So I would like to move that we direct Mr. Karwatchka to put an agenda item on the next regular board meeting to accept his letter of resignation, which we will receive.
There's any discussion about that? Hearing none, then I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and it's 2-0, one not participating. So we move on, and that's the direction, Mr. Karwatchka. And I believe you have another
Direction number 1.
direction.
Second item. I move that we direct Mr. Karwatchka to add an agenda item to the next regular board meeting to appoint an interim county administrator.
Okay, I'll second that. Anything that needs to be added to that, I think we will find probably on the agenda when it's done. So, any discussion before I call for the vote? Hearing none, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and so approved, 2-0. So, I don't believe there's any further business that needs to come before the board in this special board meeting. And so I'm going to say that the next meeting will be Monday, August the 19th at 10 a.m. in the Board of Supervisors hearing room for a special board meeting. Having said that, let's adjourn. And thank you all for participating.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.